What's up, people? Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, August 1st, 2019. I'm Lindsay Duff, and this is Responsible Day Trading. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today. I did not record myself today. I wanted to try something a little bit different. I did hit up the MES, and I did fairly well with it. So my goal was to make $100 on the MES, which is $100. These are $5 a point. So we're going to have to work hard for that one, right? Well, I did a little bit better than my initial goal, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So what I was really thinking about was holding for these longer targets, and I'm not saying that I worry about the money on the ES, but it does help to be able to have that mindset to get you in that habit of holding for longer whenever you're practicing with something a little bit smaller. So I took it down to that. I have been extremely busy the last few days. Today was the first time I was able to even sit down and spend some time with it. Tomorrow I might be able to, but I'm definitely heading out of town to Austin tomorrow. And Monday and Tuesday next week are gonna be crazy too. By Wednesday, things should be settling down. Then school starts the following week. So I may be just kind of hit or miss for the next few days. Definitely been trying to spend some time with the kids, just getting our minds prepared for school, all of us. So without further ado, let's go and check out these charts. When I started this morning, we can see right here, and I hate using the crosshairs unless I have to. This is at the point where I started right here. You can see as we're looking back here where there was definitely still a little bit more pressure to the upside. I was a little impatient and went ahead and took it early. So I took the short and I exited early because normally if I'm taking a full loss, it is 2.75 points on each contract, so it equals out to 5.5 points if I'm going to take the full loss. But I could see the reasons for the exit here. And this actually pulled back, so I took the exit here. This actually pulled back and gave me a couple little entries. Remember, my risk is way bigger, so it's way further down here. And as this is going up, I see the reasons for this to die out. We're not having a lot of strength up in our bigger tick charts. Our lower tick charts are dying out. And so I had a pretty good indication that this was going to pull back. I entered into this twice. The long here, and it came along, and I'll just pull this along with everything. I took the first exit with this kind of extreme pivot, did not wait for it to get to the target, because when you start seeing reasons for the exits, as in things are starting to lead lower, we go ahead and take the exit. So the first one was 2.75, the next one was 1.75, and the next one was way down here at 1.25. I'm sorry, 1.5. But at that moment, I start to realize, okay, well, this puppy is turning around. So once again, and I'm working on getting in multiple contracts and holding for the bigger picture, okay? So I do believe I got in just a teensy bit early on this, but where our risk is, this is actually not too bad. So once it pulls up here and starts pushing to the downside, it's time to exit the trade because it does have a lot of potential to push further. I did not hold for the full 4 points on any of these either. It definitely would have hit it had I waited for it to come down here a little bit more. But I was a little skittish of things, the way that we were pulling into an area that it held prior. So I step away for a few minutes and I come back and I'm like, well, this is just holding up at this area. This is something I struggle with sometimes. And it's that middle area, and I let that middle area get me. And so instead of waiting for it to really show itself, because I was even saying to myself, now, Lindsay, this can really push down further. But let's just see if it just pops. Well, when it popped right here, it popped so fast, there was no way for me to exit without it hitting my stop. So it hit both my entries here, and I got I ended up losing 10.5 points on that. So I went to hit the close button and I just couldn't grab it in time. So one was for 2.75, the other one was 2.5 times 2 contracts, which takes us to 10.5 points. Well, then we get this just unbelievable, massive push to the downside. And so instead of ending up 2 points, which would have been $10 on the MES, I said, all right, look at the way that this just popped down to the downside. There was no way I was going to let this go. When it pulled back into our first area, I went ahead and got in with everything. The risk was at an amazing space, and it pulled down, took my first target out for 4 points. And I said, all right, we're going to move that to a break even. And I just kept moving my risk behind these areas until it started to pop back a little bit right in here. And I pulled it back and went ahead and exited another contract. So I'm not getting all 4 out. I'm just exiting the contracts that, I exited my last contract for 9 1/4. Well, as this pulls up a little bit more, I said, all right, this is not done. I made sure when I got in here that I didn't want to just get in all willy-nilly. So whenever we get in here, so 89, right, 90, 91.5. So it got me right above this little tiny pullback. I couldn't get all the way back here. Excuse that. That was not. So whenever I got into this one, I got my risk, made sure it was back behind this area right here. And so I was pulling it in a little tight as it was pushing down. Took my first target out at 4 points. The next one started to pull back pretty intense. And when that happened, I went ahead and took my point exit. Said, okay, I'm done with this. I'm out of here. This is going to give a pretty decent pullback, which it did. It gave another really decent pullback. I don't trade quite like this often, but when it moves like this, it doesn't give you time to second guess yourself, which is actually really beautiful. So when it pulled back and it gave us some signals that it was going to push down, went ahead and took that entry again, gave us really great entry opportunities. And I took the first exit at the 4 point. I let the second one run to 7 points. Okay. And so whenever it pulled back here, I'm like, okay, I might be done for a little bit. And I said, nah, not yet, not yet. I got in just a little bit early here. I can tell you exactly why I got in early just a little bit here. I got in early just a little bit here because I was doing a little bit of trash talking to myself about exiting early here whenever we had a big move. So it pulled back, gave very, very weak indications that this could continue like we saw right in here, and I took the entry. And having my ego in the way a little bit, I held on to that definitely longer than I should have. Once it started to do this little bit of a pullback, it's time to get out. It's time to wait for the next entry. So I pulled, let's see. So I waited just a little bit longer. Gave us some nice little signals here. I got in once, I got in twice, which gave me really great risk opportunity on this. So this one, guys, I decided let's go ahead and hold on for what it tells us. So we took the first one out at 4 points. I pulled this one back as it was slowing down. We took the next one out at 4.75. Let the next one run just a little bit longer. Took that one out for 6 points. And then once we hit this bottom here and I started to see some divergence, really starting to show the potential here, I was like, let's go ahead and take this exit. It did push down further. It did continue more, but I didn't feel a need to be a part of it. I actually was supposed to be out of my house pretty quickly after that, and didn't leave for a little while. So we can see 13 trades, 3 losses, 10 wins, 51 points. It's not often that I make that kind of point. So that's $255. Let's see. I started trading. What time is it? The first trade was at 10:15, and I finished trading at 12:30. So this is something that I hope to do a little bit more often on the ES and not just the MES, but you know, it's 51 points is definitely a goal. But when it's moving the way it moved for that, man, it is hard to pass up on those puppies and just let it run and let it go. So that was today I said I wanted to let things run, and I sure did. So sorry there's no video, but guys, really it puts a lot of pressure on me when I'm working on something new in my mind, because I start to feel like I need to perform for people, and that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to perform. I'm here to do my best, do what I see is right, and hopefully help others to do the same. So I'm definitely no market guru. I'm just a girl that gets it, okay? That's all I can explain to y'all. So I'm heading out for the evening. I'm going to get this up, get this out, and then head out for the evening. I'm not sure about tomorrow because I'm driving out to Austin tomorrow and have a few things planned before. Definitely Monday is going to be questionable. Tuesday, yeah, nah. I might be able to get some stuff done in the morning before the kids get up, but there's a lot planned for preschool stuff, ROTC, freshman orientation, all this kind of stuff. So it's just all that winding up, getting ready. But that about wraps it up, guys. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Otherwise, you know, I look forward to catching you on the profitable side.